Yo, what's up everybody? It's Pat here from Cocktail Logic, bringing you the logistics of all things cocktail. So where do we start? I figure with an old fashioned, because it comes from the original word cocktail. That word was just a type of drink. Cocktail was just a type of drink with bitters, sugar, booze, and a little bit of water. So you could order any type of cocktail, and that's what you would get. You would get those three base ingredients, and then some spirit. This feller with the last name of Thomas came up with it with gin. It was written down somewhere with gin, bitter, sugar, water. This fella with the last name of Pepper came up with it. He was from Kentucky. He went to the Waldorf in New York. He wrote down that cocktail recipe that we all know and love. We can all agree on one thing though. It was bitter, sugar, booze, a little bit of water. And everyone can argue about what kind of sugar you use, what kind of bitters you use, and where you get your water from. And they're all personal preference. And I'm just here to show you two different ways. Maybe you can pick your own personal preference. But just know if anybody ever tells you the old-fashioned should be made like X, Y, Z, shut up. Tell them just know you should shut up, because it is just sugar, bitters, booze, and water. And you can get your water from dilution. You can get your water from pouring it in there from an essential water bottle, for all I care. You can get your water from wherever, dude. It's just those few ingredients mixed in the way you like it. So I'm gonna give you two different ways today to make an old-fashioned, a whiskey old-fashioned. And they're the two most common ways. One with sugar here, and then one with syrup, which is my favorite way because it's just adding the water and the sugar and putting it together, adding some heat on there. I don't know how our founding fathers didn't come up with that and write it down in these books that we keep citing, but they didn't, so they made it with sugar. So we're gonna make it like that too. The original way calls for me to make it in a rocks glass. It asks for a lump of sugar with some bitters, some water, dump some ice, and then some booze, stir, then garnish with an orange peel. So that's how we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it the original way. Super easy too. You got some sugar, you got some bitters, you got some whiskey laying around. Boom, you got your old fashioned. Today, I'm gonna be using this Balcones Texas pot distilled bourbon. I picked it up here in California, actually. I just saw Texas on it, was like, yeah, for sure, let me 100% get this. You know what I'm saying? Howdy. So, let's start off with the lump of sugar. I got a little lump in here I'm gonna get. This looks like a good lump to me. They say teaspoon too. Whatever you want, dude. So, drop in your sugar, boom. We're gonna get a little bit of water. We're gonna add the water, right? Now, cite your source when you start doing this, when you start speed pouring your essential water bottles. We're doing a teaspoon of water. That was 100% a teaspoon too. That was like an exact measurement of teaspoon. If you had a little scale, if you had a little drug dealer scale, you would see that was a for sure teaspoon. Then we're gonna add 2 dashes of bitters. If you have these cool little things here, it's 4. 1, 2. Add your bitters in there. You're gonna mix that solution all around. Try to get it diluted as best you can. The sugar granules don't really dilute all the way, which is why syrup's better, but you're kind of making a pretty weak syrup here. So mix it all around, get your sugar all in the water there. Then the recipe says add ice. They don't say add like perfectly clear, beautiful ice that you get at your local cocktail bar, but it does say to add your ice. I'm using clear ice here. Let me know if you want to know how to make that. It's not as hard as you think. Big one, couple of these little guys in there to kind of fill in the spot. We're going to add our Tejas bourbon. He thought I was gonna drop that, huh? Shandale. Ain't dropping nothing. So 2 ounces, 2.5 if you're feeling frisky. A little bit less if you want it more sweet. Dump that bad boy right in there. And then you're going to stir just a little bit. Try to mix it a little bit. Generally, when the outside of the glass is cold, a little bit frosty, it's pretty good to go. But play that by ear, you know? Like I work at a restaurant on a well, sometimes servers be hella slow. So if you know you got some slow servers, take your time, don't dilute it as well. It's gonna dilute while it's sitting there at the well, you know what I'm saying? Express your citrus oils. I always like cutting over the cocktail here. Then you're going to squeeze it just a little bit first, get them oils ready, right? Get them muscles flexing, and then you're gonna express your oils over the top of the glass. Make sure to get the whole rim. Drop it in, and then you have your old-fashioned whiskey cocktail. Let's try this bad boy out. Ooh, that is delicious, actually. Very spirit forward off the bat. Little word of advice, there's a bunch of sugar at the bottom here, so your last sip is gonna be super, super sweet. But very tasty, it's probably gonna make you want another one, which brings me to the first argument. Where should your dilution be? Some people might argue that your drink should be very stiff at first, so the last drink is the most tasty. Other people might say dilute it first, so the first sip is the most tasty. That way they'll drink it faster and order another drink. It's like, okay, Warren Buffett, it's whatever you want, dude. They're gonna order another drink if they like it. If people like a stiff drink at first and to finish with the last sip being best, they're gonna order another one if you make it like that. If they like the other way around, if they like the first drink first, they're gonna drink it fast, they're gonna order it like that too. Don't get that complicated with it, right? Make it the way your bar says to make it, or make it the way you like it at your house. Can't beat it, can't beat it. But we are gonna inevitably move on to the new school way, the syrup way. I'm using Demerara. Demerara sugar, it's kind of like a brown sugar. Little caramel note, delicious. It's a 2-to-1, so you use 2 cups of Demerara sugar or whatever sugar you like, and then 1 cup of water. Bring it up to boil, and then you have your nice little syrup here. So this particular cocktail, I always like to build in a mixing glass here. So this way I dilute it a little bit before I pour it. Pour it over a nice big rock. Your first sip is super tasty. You'll probably drink it really fast because it's actually really refreshing when you make it this way. It's usually my favorite way to make an old fashioned. It's probably the easiest too. You don't even have to pre-dilute it. I'm just doing it this way to show you the other way to do it. You can just throw all this in a rocks glass too. Boom, dump a rock in there. Mix it up a little bit. Andale, you got yourself a nice old fashioned. But let's build it in this cool chingadera first, yeah? So take your Angostura bitters. 2 dashes of that, boom, 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 which is 4 out of here. Now we're gonna get our Demerara sugar. Now I'm using this little bottle because I freaking love little bottles, dude. And you're gonna do 0.25 of Demerara syrup. That's exactly 0.25 as well, by the way. Once again, you can take out your drug dealer scale, weigh that 0.25, 100%. Now, if you like a little sweeter, a little more, if you say you like your bourbon a little more, a little less than 0.25, whatever you want, fam. Then, last but not least, you get your bourbon. Now you're gonna notice I put the bourbon in last. That's an old pet peeve of mine. Original way I always learned how to bartend was your most expensive ingredient, which is usually your spirit, is always put in last. That way if someone unscrewed your bitters top, dump a gallon of bitters in there, you're not gonna screw up your nice Texas whiskey, right? Put the whiskey in last, fam. Pro tip for you. Boom, dump that in there. Then we're gonna add ice. Add some little ones at the end. I like to add a couple big, couple little. You feel me? And we are going to stir to dilute. Flinging whiskey, dude. Flinging whiskey. So we're gonna get our rocks glass. Boom. Dump our nice big cube in there. Get our old julep strainer. And strain her out. Once again, with the orange. This time we're gonna do a lemon as well. Express the oils. Do the little bunny ears. And then we're gonna add a real expensive cherry. We're gonna add a Luxardo cherry in there. Boom, drop a cherry in there. I like to add a little cherry juice in mine because I got a sweet tooth. And there you have it. You have your new old fashioned, so to say. The new and improved old fashioned, the gold edition, the platinum edition old fashioned. Muddle free, no fruit floating in there other than that cherry, other than that overpriced cherry that's floating in there. And let's give this a sip. I'm not gonna lie, that's better. Impression, I think let me get this one back again here. Let me give this one a little. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They're both good. They're both good. This one is obviously more spirit forward. You taste more bourbon in there. The sugar's at the bottom, but it's still a little bit sweetened. It's got the bitters and everything in there too. Good dilution. This guy here is just melted together with all the Demerara and the bourbon with its peanutty, caramelly flavors and the bitters. I mean, they're both really tasty cocktails. So I don't know, man. It's up to you. But like I said, it's all personal preference. Don't take it that serious. It's just drinks, you're not going to war. So if you like it one way and then there's some snobby bartender somewhere that tells you that your way is stupid because like somebody 120 years ago made it like this other way, like I said, tell them to shut up. They should shut up about that because that's stupid. It's like someone making fun of you for music you like or something like that. It's all personal preference. So pick which one you like. They're actually both really delicious cocktails. They both have sugar, bitters, booze, and a little bit of water in there. They might have different ratios, but they're both really delicious. Yeah, so once again, Pat here from Cocktail Logic. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram. That's at California Cocktail Logic. If you're in the San Diego area, come check me out at Cafe 21. I run the cocktail program there and bartend there. I'll be there like shaking hands, kissing babies, stuff like that. So come on by, check it out, and let me know. Let me know like in the comments, let me know on my Instagram what you want to see. If you're curious about what ice I'm using, if you're curious about what like slicer thing I'm using, or like how to do it without slicing your finger off, because if anybody has ever worked in a bar for any period of time, they probably have like a little tip of their finger missing. Let me know if you want some reviews of tools, techniques, or whatever. I'm here for you, fam. So yeah, it's Pat from Cocktail Logic signing off. Love you guys.